It's Nolan. What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Oh man, we got Common coming out actually defending Drake in the wake of Yasiin Bey, formerly known as Mos Def, coming out and saying that Drake's music is pop, basically saying that it's synonymous with shopping and or shopping with an edge. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of debate going on in the hip hop world in the grand scheme of music, and everybody was like, dang, maybe Mos or Yasiin was a bit heavy-handed in his assessment of Drake and his music, right? There's been a lot of debates. A lot of people came out and said, yo, he has roots in hip hop. He started out as a rapper. He was looking up to Elzhi, Little Brother, groups like that, Slum Village, etc. For those of y'all that are not as heavily ingrained into the hip hop culture like that, those are, pretty much underground rap groups that were holding it down for the 2000s. Drake came in under that wing. He even did songs with some of those guys so that he could get a little bit of credibility to his name. Kind of taken from the Kanye formula, if we're gonna be all the way honest, right? When Kanye came into the game, he aligned himself with Rockefeller, you know what I'm saying? Because they were the ones that were paying him the most for the beats. He knew that getting on Jay-Z albums and, anything else coming from that label would establish him as a top producer. But when it came to his actual raps, he ended up being embraced by Talib Kweli, Mos Def, and a whole slew of different underground acts, Dilated Peoples, Slum Village, etc. So I've said it numerous times on this channel that Drake kind of, took Kanye's formula, flipped it on his head, and ran with it. He's like the second generation of a Ye. I think he has today better music than Kanye because Kanye doesn't put all his energy into producing music and creating it. He has so many other people helping him and executing his ideas, and his mind isn't all the way clear. So, of course, the music comes out cluttered. Now, getting back to this whole Common, Yasiin Bey, Drake debate, okay? Common went on Hot 97, if I'm not mistaken, and spoke to Ebro in the morning with Peter Rosenberg, etc. And he had some things to say. A lot of people that understand where these guys come from, especially the history between Common and Yasiin Bey, their history goes back well into the 90s. They have numerous songs together. They're associated with the Roots and the Soulquarians and all of that vibe. You know what I'm saying? They also were a part of the ushering in of what we now call neo soul, right? But they were on the hip hop side of it, putting rhymes over those beats, over those tracks and those vibes. He actually came in to say, I think Drake is hip hop. I think he does come from the roots. I think he does come from the cloth. But then he also went on to name Kendrick Lamar as one of the top MCs and rappers of all time. So I think he still sees Drake a couple notches under Kendrick Lamar as far as hip hop is concerned. He doesn't see them in the same stratosphere. And I think a lot of people feel that way. I think Drake gets his respect as a hip hop artist, as a lyricist, right? He's written for himself and others, not to mention he's also had people write for him. So that takes a couple notches off of his status lyrically or as a all-time great. But I think most people can understand that his albums consist of pop hits, trap hits, a couple hip-hop joints, and singing for the ladies. Those four elements make up Drake's career. Here's what Common had to say nonetheless.
To me, I think Drake comes from hip-hop. Like, when I first heard him rhyming, I was like, yo, this dude rhyming. Yeah. And he was, and if he goes out and makes songs that are popular, that's what it is.
But he's still an MC.
And also Drake's never Pitbull. He never went Flow Rider Pitbull with the pop.
Listen, I mean, the dude is an incredible songwriter. He's an incredible artist, man. Yeah. Like you can't touch that many people without having some type of, especially on for a long enough period of time as he's been doing it. Like, it's pop artists, excuse me. It's pop artists that they have a hit and it's gone and you forget, oh, who was that? But I mean, this man has touched different aspects of culture, like, and been able to continue to do it. So, you gotta have some respect and know that, like, yo, this dude is a very talented artist. And Yasiin is a genius, man. Like, I've been around that dude and I'm like, and I've watched him as an actor, as an artist, and I listen to a lot of his raps and be like, yo, this dude is he's like very like high level when it comes to like poetic rap and just not even just poetic rap, but I'm saying he has poetry within his rap. And just can style on anything. He could do a lot. Most def, Yasiin is not gonna hold his tongue. He's a warrior.
If he gets asked, he's answering.
He gonna answer. And like you said, he did it with his personality, all that charisma. We know hip hop. Like to me, hip hop, because I was talking about it with one of my guys. He was like, "Well, what's rapping? What's hip hop?" But I always looked at hip hop as like this culture, and rap is a part of hip hop. Like, go front. Like I feel like when I listen to a Drake, I listen to a Chance, I listen to a Kendrick, you could tell they love the art form.
They're of it.
They come from it. They love it. Like that's what it is. And you know, for me, Kendrick is like, in any era, he's one of the greatest MCs, just point blank. And I think, when you start...
So you putting Kendrick in your top 5?
I mean, I would have to say top 10 at least. At times, he's been in my top 5 just by me being like real honest with if I look over the scope of hip hop, I gotta say Kendrick, like how many people have had 4 albums where like the lyrics are that great, you making different type, them albums ain't the same, they different. Yeah. And man, this dude, I mean, won a Pulitzer Prize. I know that like maybe people were like, oh, that ain't hip hop, whatever, but that shows you your writing has went to a whole nother like stratosphere if that many people are recognizing what you do as an MC, as a writer. So, but what I was about to say about hip hop though, to me it's like, man, we just like what we like, man. It's okay to be like, man, some stuff I ain't into, and if somebody now their expression of hip hop is what it is, then man, that's their interpretation of it. We can't like really, I can't really say, man, that ain't hip hop to me, because that's that person expressing what they want, what they feel like is hip hop to them. Whether they calling it rap, hip hop, that's them expressing it.
All right, so there's Common's assessment of the situation, which for some people this would stand out as very odd, or just how the times have changed, because Common and Drake had their own little standoff some years ago, right? Y'all remember the whole Stay Scheming thing, where Drake put that record out. It was a hit record, and he dissed Common, said it's something like, it's funny when the gods turn into the broads. Unfortunately, they had a little spat over Serena Williams. Common was dating her. Next thing you know, Drake was sliding in, and people were rumoring that they were together, that they were sleeping together. And it was just a weird time in hip hop. Common came out with a song called Sweet, where he basically said he was sweet. You know what I mean? In the literal way. Basically saying, you come around here, I'll fuck you up, I'll knock your ass out. We never really seen Common get like this too many times in hip hop. Back in the 90s, he went at Ice Cube with the Bitchin' You. But it's very rare that Common steps out of his character to go to that level where he's actually taking threats against people, disparaging somebody, calling out their character. It kind of goes against, a lot of the imagery that we've come to be familiar with Common. So today it seems like he's more so on the side of peace, because he vouched for both people. It wasn't that he just came out and said, Drake is hip hop, I support him 100%, I'm riding with him. He didn't say that. He says Drake has a lot of good qualities about him. He comes from the hip hop foundation. When he came into the game, everybody, including himself, had to say, the kid can rhyme. He took that and ran with the baton. He also came in and said, Yasiin Bey, aka Most Def, he's also a warrior. He's also a poetic genius, lyrical genius, right? The way he can do things, mold in and out of pockets and beats. You know what I'm saying? He can sing, he can act. He runs the gamut of so many things. He can actually stand up on stage and just talk for hours and motherfuckers will listen. So he's not picking a side. He's staying neutral. He's Switzerland in this situation and saying, I understand where people may be coming from. Their perspective of hip hop is whatever it is, and you can never tell somebody what their perspective of hip hop is, because we all ingest it and digest it differently. But from his perspective, he sees both people as being qualified within the space, within the genre, which I can respect. I don't know how Yasiin is going to feel about this. We don't know how Yasiin feels about any of this. I don't know if he even is happy about that clip surfacing online. It was a conversation. Of course, there was a camera, and people are going to leak that as the main part of the conversation. But I'm sure he kind of looked at it like, damn, y'all could have edited that out. It was a candid conversation, but I never want to get on screen and disparage another artist. That's not my intention, right? Especially with all of the conversation that it created. And then for Common to come out and, again, I'm not saying that he's going against Yasiin, but he's not completely agreeing with his side of the tale, being that they have so large of a history together. I mean, from the 90s, that's like 20 plus years in hip hop. These guys have toured together, done music together, been in the same circles, been in the same, you know what I mean, community. So it's going to be interesting to see if Yasiin comes out with any sort of response, or if he just goes off and does his thing, never speaks again, probably stops doing interviews. It's not like he does a lot of them in the first place, because he doesn't like to be a part of the circus. So the rest is yet to come, you know what I'm saying? Let me know what y'all think of all this down below in the comments. Be sure to like and share this video. If this is your first time seeing me on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the post notification bell for all updates, and I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Much love and respect, y'all. Peace!
King of my city and cul-de-sac. Coming out swinging like soldier rag. Leading my people like quarterback. Boy, I study this shit, I'm an almanac. Had to get up and grind. Knowledge is booming, I'm here to apply. Came with the chip and the dip, it just single the mind. We finna do more than survive. I need my check. Spinning the block for the Gouda. We hitting the jeweler to flood out the net. We don't do beef on computers, I'm straight out the sewer. We come when you rest. Niggas be looking perplexed, so keeping my foot on their neck. No map, I trust my gut for the quest. But drama, I'm fully abreast. I was ready for years and they doubted me. All of a sudden they tell me they proud of me. I been dropping these haters like calories. Cross some out, came back with some boundaries. Stand for my honor, but too raw, no corner. Packing the stick with a drummer. When I catch my bad, won't fumble. I done came too far to be humble.